Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Love Goddess Live Show. How is everyone doing today? Are you joining me for this slightly gloomy Friday afternoon here in Virginia Beach? I want to hear how have your week been? What have you been up to? What were the projects you're working on? Tell me some juicy details. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me because I want to really give you that value that you are here for, right? And by the way, if you are watching me live, say that you are watching me live. If you are watching a replay, say that you are watching replay. Let me switch to my comments section here. Okay, and then I'll be able to see your comments. We're going to get started in about a minute or so. We are waiting for other ladies to join me in for our live show and for the party. Today's subject will be permission to be feminine, and it is such a massive subject that I've decided to split it into parts. This week, we're going to be talking about permission to be feminine, and next week, we will also be talking about permission to be feminine. And again, please let me know in the comments what is it that I should address next week. Not next week, but like in the future shows, right? What are the things that you really want to learn from me? What are the things that I'm here? I am present. I am here to give you value. I am available for you to jump in, ask me questions. So please tell me what are the things that you personally struggle with in your own life. What are the things you admire about me that I can teach, right? Because a lot of times when we are inspired by other people, those are the qualities that we already possess within ourselves. And if we're jealous of other people, we deny those qualities in ourselves. And if we are inspired by those other people, we accept those qualities within ourselves and we accept that, yes, this kind of future is available to me too. And I am called to have this kind of future, right? So, what are the things that you are looking for me to share with you? What are the things that you are inspired by that you want to talk more of? Because I am customizing all of the content. Every week I sit down and I question myself, what do my girls want to hear from me? What do my girls want to learn from me? And without your feedback, I can't share the stuff that you want from me, right? Like, I need for you to tell me what are the things that you want to learn from me, right? Super, super important. All right, I think we are ready to get started. Let me go ahead and remove the banner over here and switch back into comments and grab a sip of water. So, our subject today is permission to be feminine. What does it even mean to be feminine? Anyone can tell me? Anyone can tell me what does it mean to be feminine? Like, we talk about masculinity, femininity. Like, what does it mean to be feminine? Is feminine a bad word? Right? Some women would come and say, I don't want to be feminine. I want to be powerful. Earlier this morning, I dropped into the group a little poll. What does it mean to be a powerful woman? Right? And I got responses like being a powerful woman means confidence, authenticity, Being a powerful woman means taking charge of her life, right? But what does it mean to be feminine? And can a powerful woman be feminine? Another question I get asked a lot when women come to me and they say, I want to be like you. Like, what do you mean you want to be like you? Well, I want to be powerful like you, like yet feminine at the same time. Like, how is this possible? Like, that's what I want to learn, right? and yeah, I guess I would not be teaching you a course on a love goddess and how to become a love goddess in your life if I wasn't feminine, but yet took charge and took power of my life, right? And took what I call radical responsibility for my life. Also, earlier today, I had another breakthrough and my mind is racing today. Like I have all these thoughts and ideas, right? The reason why certain things in my life have not yet come to fruition or have not come true, or certain parts of my business are not performing to the level that I am expecting that to perform, is because I have not taken radical responsibility for that part, right? So if you are struggling in love, if you are struggling financially, if you're struggling in like whatever department in your life that you are struggling, that you can't get it perfect, that is because you have not made a decision yet to take radical responsibility for that part of my life. Like I'm struggling with, getting my body back on track, getting in shape. I've been so stressed. I've been eating, and I realized I have not taken radical responsibility for my body, for my exercise, for my nutrition, for how I live, right? Like what I eat, what I put in my body. And so taking radical responsibility for that part of your life that you want to change is super important. And you know what that comes with? That comes with stepping into your masculinity. Stepping into your masculinity. When you step into your masculinity, you have a wonderful action plan and you have things to execute on, and you have your to-do list that is a mile long. But then you're cutting yourself off of your femininity, because masculine is all about doing. Feminine is all about receiving, right? So, on the subject of being feminine, what is femininity and how do you give yourself permission to be feminine? Permission to be feminine is permission to receive, is permission to indulge, is permission to enjoy, is permission to relax, is permission to let yourself go, like let your self-criticism go and just receive, relax, rest from that self-judgment. That's what permission to be feminine is about, right? Permission to be feminine is about being easy with yourself, right? We are so self-critical about all the things that we have not accomplished and all the things that our to-do list consists of, that we are so hard on ourselves for all the things that we should have been further by now, and we are not where we want to be. Like I should have already married a guy, I'm still not married, right? Like I should have, all those should haves, right? all those ideas and plans that we create for ourselves are fake stories that we create for ourselves that we then don't end up living up to. And we are so mad at ourselves for not living up to those stories that we created for ourselves. And so just like that story that you have created for yourself, you can let that story go and create a new story that is better, that feels better, that is less of self-hatred, right? So the stories need to go. Just like you created that first story that you failed to change, you can create a new story for yourself and a new plan and a new goal in a more loving way. That is what being feminine is about. Not being so hard on yourself, allowing whatever comes to you, allowing for that to come, allowing time frames. For me, like I've been on this journey of like I have these deadlines. We're moving into the Love Goddess Women's Center this month, right? We're moving into Love Goddess Women's Center this month. And like I have the deadlines to hit and the rent to pay and the money to make and like the people to put into their places, and then they don't work out, and then I waste 2 months on those people and they don't work out, and then like whole bunch of other things that comes up, and my website is still not up, right? Because I struggle with shitty website designers who like don't do the job, and I'm still on that journey. And remember how I just mentioned in a shower, I had this idea like, why is shit not working out in that area of my business or that area of my business? And like for you, this could be your life. It's because I did not take radical responsibility for that area and put the time and effort it requires to get that going and put the energy, because what you put in, you get out. You get out exactly to the extent of what you put into that thing that you want in your life. Therefore, I have not put enough energy into that website. Therefore, it's not working out, right? Have not put enough of that energy into, hiring and setting client guide in place. It's not working out. Even though I think I've put all the energy in the world and I'm already tired and I'm going through patterns. What the fuck, right? I have to look at myself like, where did I not put enough energy? Why is it not working out? Where did I not take that radical responsibility for this area of my life or this area of my life, for this area of my business and this area of my business, right? Cleopatras, you're listening to me. You are there with me. You know, it's not easy to be in charge and be that powerful woman who is in charge, who is in power, who is leading her team, her family, whoever it is that you're leading. But if you are a powerful woman, you are a leader in one area or another area of your life. You are creating an impact, because that's what powerful women do. Women in power, creating impact on lives of others. And if you want to be a powerful woman, you're going to have to start with your own life, and you're going to have to start with that radical responsibility for your life, right? You're going to have to start with yourself first. However, many clients that I meet in line of what it is that we are doing for women, every single one of them would tell me, hey, I found this amazing guy only because I learned to love myself first. Only because I learned to love myself first. And that is when I met him. And it always starts with you first. It always starts with you first. So how does being feminine apply to everything that I have just said, to everything that I have just shared with you? Being feminine starts with taking responsibility for your life and being mindful that you are not working yourself to the ground in a masculine. This is what we are going, and this is what we are mastering with all of my Cleopatras. Cleopatra is the third high level coaching clients with me. We are like having a royal circle, right? It's the higher level of my coaching clients. They are the next level from the love goddess. Once women mastered the art of being a love goddess, the next level is, how do you master the powerful energy and then the feminine energy alongside with that? How do you master being in your power and being in your masculine, but yet at the same time, you're a woman and being in your feminine? Right? And the answer is not easy. The answer is it's never a balance. You maybe find balance for a short period of time, but it's a balancing game, and it always is a balancing game. And our job as queens and Cleopatras of our lives is to learn, how can we master the game of balance? How can we master being a love goddess in our lives and also being that powerful woman, the queen? It's a mastering of a love goddess and a queen, and learning to switch between the two very easily and quickly, and learning to recognize when you are too much in your masculine and you've given yourself out too much, where it's time for you to replenish in your feminine. Right? That only starts with permission to be feminine first. That only starts with permission to be feminine first. I cannot stress you enough. I see most women, like majority of women, struggle to have juicy life full of aliveness because they living in their masculine energy all the time. All the time. Tomorrow, let me turn this off real quick. Next week, I will be creating podcasts specifically addressing each and every point of that feminine masculine balance, right? There are dangers of being too much in your feminine, and there is dangers of being too much in your masculine, but the balancing game is where the sweet spot is. The balancing game between your masculine and your feminine, between your love goddess archetype that is receiving and enjoying and seducting and receiving and allowing pleasure in your life, and your queen who is in charge of her life and dictates how her life is going to go for her, right? That is the master skill that we master as Cleopatras. Queen Cleopatra. The reason why I even named that next level from the love goddess Cleopatra, because Queen Cleopatra was queen of Egypt. She was a ruler and a leader for her people. But she was a woman who was a very delicate seductress and knew the intricacies of playing a game as a woman. Cleopatra mastered the skill of seduction. She is the ultimate seduction archetype. And there are multiple archetypes. If you've read the book, which is this huge book, I barely read it. The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. He outlines multiple archetypes and who they are and what they do and how they seduce. But ultimately, what the seducer does, seducer creates this fantasy world that another person is drawn into, right? But your another person could be your own husband. Your other world could be the fantasy world that you are lacking right now. You are simply not able to create that life for yourself full of liveliness and inspiration and creativity and experiences because you are so deeply in your masculine element that you don't allow yourself to replenish in your feminine. That is what ultimately Cleopatra does. She is the masculine and feminine balance. That is the sweet spot. That is the like the perfect balance. That's where you want to be. But why it's challenging, because there is never a balance. You find it for a little bit and then you're tipped off balance again because life, Tell me, how good are you doing with your feminine masculine balance? I want to see it all in your comments. Tell me, how well are you doing with your feminine masculine balance? One of the things that I absolutely love working with my Cleopatras is that they already took charge of their lives. They already took radical responsibility for the outcome and they have started creating the beautiful balance. Yes, they're master and their businesses and they're masters at, playing the masculine game and wearing the pants and taking charge of their finances and leading their women and their people, whoever they're leading, to the better world, the better, like, whatever. If you have a business, period, you are a light worker because you are creating a difference for other people. You are bringing transformation for other people. You're bringing them change. You're improving. You're making their lives better, right? But we Cleopatras and business owners, we get so lost and so burned out in this and just serving because it is so demanding. And we are not taking radical responsibility for creating the feminine aspect of our lives with the permission to be feminine. We have taken the radical responsibility for our to-do list, for our schedules, for our business. We have not taken radical responsibility for our feminine side. We have not taken radical responsibility for our love life, for our adventure life. I call this irresistible life. Irresistible, I call it fantasy life. Irresistible life that you build. Just like you build your business, you build and you give that side, the feminine side of your life, just as much priority. And the reason why the balance is off is because you prioritize this side too much and you completely forget your feminine side, and that you are a woman and that your feminine life is just as important. You are not a dude who wears the pants. We are no longer in 1920s where the feminism was thriving, right? We don't need to prove to anyone that we can do masculine jobs. We are in the new era. I call it new age feminism or new feminism or a different kind of feminism, because this is a feminism where the feminine way is the leading way, not the fake masculine way where women pretend to be masculine to deserve or earn a right. And there was definitely a place in history for that. There was definitely a place for that in order for us to get where we are now and claim our authentic feminine. We had to go through toxic part where women had to fight, because where we were before, Before, women had no rights. Before, women only were there to procreate. Before, women married, couple married only for financial purposes. There was no love. It was mostly arranged. It was mostly a financial arrangement in marriages. There was no love. Right now, we want from our partners to be our lover and our, master, or whatever, like mistress, master, right? Like, is that how it works? Basically our lover, right? Where before, marriages was a financial, structural, societal organism, right? Where love was not the leading cause for marriages. Now we all base marriages on love, and that's a huge improvement, and that's wonderful. And we now want to preserve passion in marriages, where before that was not even on a table in the first place. We want to preserve love in marriages. We want to preserve passion in marriages. We want to preserve partnership, which I cannot stand this word. I cannot stand the word, oh, he's my partner, or partnership. Like, but for me, marriage is anti-partnership. It is when you make it a partnership, that's what it turns into, a partnership. 50-50. I sleep in one room, he sleeps in another. I do the dishes, he does the laundry. Like, it's 50-50. There is no passion. It's masculine. It's coming from masculine place. It's an arrangement. Like, I teach my love goddesses to not form partnerships. And while it is important to keep some form of system alive, because that's how life works, like we live in 3D, like physical world, and we need structures for that. I teach my love goddesses to focus on being lovers, not partners. And so, where does permission to be feminine come into play here? It comes into play when you get out of this 50-50 partnership with your husband and you turn it into a lover. That's why I refer, or like I correct myself, just like I just now corrected myself, because I learned to talk, hey, he's my partner or my husband. And it's just such a dry term that lacks any passion, any sex. Like, oh, he's my husband. To me, like husband and wife, to me are partners. And that's what the society has taught me to treat marriages, like they're partners. And that is correct. Historically, it has been a partnership. Historically, it was done for financial purposes. Women couldn't work. The only way they could be sustained through the only way was through marriage, right? With someone who had financial capacity to maintain the family. It was an arrangement. Now women can work. Now women can make their own choices in life. Now women a lot of times earn more than men. And that has slipped into feminizing men trend. Now women are independent. Now women make their own choices. And now it has come down to, and the reason why divorce rate is so high is that women are slipping into partnerships and they no longer want to be partners. We are looking for being lovers. And a lot of times we are the ones that are failing to create a thriving arrangement, a system in marriage that is masculine based, but you fill it with lots of feminine by leaving lots of room for feminine energy in the relationship. and you are tapping into your feminine energy as a woman instead of standing up, wear the pants in the family, and claiming to be another man. Because by doing that, you feminize your partner. You no longer lovers, like, because you have to maintain that balance. You have to maintain the polarity. It is when the polarity is 50-50, you lose the passion in the relationship. And that's why it's so important. So let's wrap it up. What does it mean? What does it mean to give yourself permission to be feminine? It means that you release all the control that you're trying to have over your to-do list and how things should be going for you, and how, like, the 50-50 responsibility with your partner, right? And translate that into a polarity where you tap into your feminine energy more often, where you are allowing the universe to work things out for you and you are surrendering to the good outcome, where you tap into your seduction archetype of a woman and create that additional polarity of you tapping in your feminine, and therefore you are awakening his masculine, and you are creating a deeper polarity between the masculine and the feminine with him. That's what it means to have a permission to be feminine. And today was a clarifying conversation, and I love, and that's like an ongoing theme, honestly. Like, it's an ongoing theme, feminine, masculine. Like, this is what the Love Goddess is about. It is about a balance of that feminine and a balance of that masculine. So it's like an ongoing theme and an ongoing conversation. Next week, I kind of want to zero in on certain aspects of how to dive into the feminine, and how can we embody that feminine energy more often. So don't if you're watching replay, make sure to let me know that you are watching replay. Otherwise, I am so excited to see you next week for part 2 of this conversation, where we will dive deeper into how can we tap into our feminine more often, like other tools, other certain ways, like how can, like, it's so hard to actually have that mental switch. And I, in Love Goddess Academy, I teach the magic of masculine and feminine switchers or switches. You can use either one or the other. Sometimes you need to switch into your masculine, but a lot of times we are in our masculine, and a lot of times we need to switch into our feminine energy. So that's even harder for women who are very much into their masculine all the time. If you're a mother, you are definitely in your masculine. Thank you, love, for joining me in today on this wonderful conversation. Don't forget, we have Love Goddess Live Show every Friday at 11. And I will see you next week for continuation of our conversation on feminine and masculine polarity, and how to tap into your feminine, and what does it mean to give yourself permission to be feminine. Mwah! Bye.